Yeah, had a good practice yesterday. I thought it was a little bit cooler outside, so we were able to get a good practice in, get a good jump start on Vandy, and then today we're forced inside, so didn't get to go outside. But kids practice hard, practice fast, that's for sure. For some reason, when we're inside, they have more juice a little longer. But we're trying to get ready for Vandy, who's got a really good football program, a good football team, and I thought the kids really focused today, so I was proud of them for that, trying to improve in some of our downtrodden areas.
I was going to ask you if you guys wanted to be inside, or the gas leak drove you in there.
They just forced us in, so we were told we were not safe to be out there, so we had to go in. I would like to have been outside, but we usually that practice is usually split, so it's not like we're outside all day. We're usually outside about 50%, but today we're inside all day.
When y'all doing y'all's prep work for Vanderbilt, how much did y'all look at I guess the takeaway game against Notre Dame? They came so close to winning that contest.
Yeah, a lot. I mean, there's some similarities between us and Notre Dame. That's an interesting game. I don't know how many people actually know exactly how it happened. I mean, they had a really fluky play. They're going in to score in the first half, and they get a strip fumble on the 1 foot line. They turn one over in the end zone. Had a chance to win the game on the last drive. I mean, really played well. Played a really good football team and played a good football game. But yeah, we've seen a lot of those tapes as well as all of them.
How do you feel about?
You come in late.
How do you feel about Tay Crowder's progression and progress throughout the season compared to last?
He's come a long way. So like where he was last year to now, he's had immense strides, but he had a lot of strides to make. So he started out as a really good athlete, receiver. He's got good ball skills. Had to get used to the contact at linebacker. And I still remember first year I was here, he was over on the scout team playing running back. We started flipping him over. Said, hey, go play linebacker. Well, next thing you know, he started looking pretty good. He spent all last year learning, helping on special teams, and then, this year he's gotten better. He's big, he's fast, he's athletic. He's what you want a linebacker to be, and he's getting tougher. So he's been a really good asset for us.
Correct me if I'm wrong here, but he seems to play a lot in passing situations. It seems like in practice I haven't split out on guys. Is that kind of the strength of his game right now? Is playing in space and doing those things?
I think it's just his position because he plays what we call the money linebacker position, which follows the tight end usually, and that guy usually is flexed out in most offenses. So it's not like he's set to be open. He is good at open, but he's good in the core too. He does a good job inside there. He's a good space player. And
Well,
he's done a good job. Right.
What went into the decision to change his position?
I would say the fact that we had a bunch of good running backs. At the time, there was a good stable. I think Holyfield and Harry were here, yeah. They were in that first class of ours, and we felt like they were going to be ahead of him. And we felt like here's a guy that could help our team. And I had him in camp at Alabama for 3 or 4 years, and I always thought he was a defensive player. He just big, athletic, fast. He was one of these receivers that grew into something else. He kept growing into a back. And I think just the fact that we thought he could get on the field. And I didn't know how long it would take him to learn the defense. And it's not easy to play linebacker if you've never played it. So he has made a long transition to get where he is. And that's a credit to his patience, his work ethic, and he's helped us on special teams along the way.
Kirby, you guys haven't lost at home since 2016. How much pride do you guys take in making Sanford a tough place for visiting teams, and what's the atmosphere like, you think?
It's important to us. I mean, to be honest with you, we hadn't even talked about that consecutive streak. It's not something that we talk about a lot. But I am proud of it, and certainly think that our fan base makes it hard on people to play here. And we want to keep that going. Anytime you can protect your home turf, that becomes one of the most important things you can do.
You mentioned, I think it was yesterday. You mentioned it about night game, finally getting to play a night game. I think is what you used. What kind of makes you think of it like that? Is finally, being excited about a night game for you?
I don't know that. I'm excited for the players. I think they enjoy it. I think it's cooler longer. So typically on our GPS system, we get higher speeds at night. Our fastest games last year were night games. They sustain them longer. They might be just as fast in an afternoon game, but not as long, not for as many yards. So, but that's true for the other team too. So the game's faster. I think they enjoy it more. I think the fan base enjoys it more. There's more of a build up for it. So I think it's good when you get to have a night game and you haven't had one. If we're all at night, I probably want one in the afternoon.
Is there any challenge to what comes before it because there's just so much time to kill maybe on a game day?
I don't know if I'd call it a challenge. I mean, we have to be organized. I mean, I don't enjoy sitting around waiting. What I do enjoy doing is recruiting and visiting with prospects who come. The night before is different. You know, we go to a movie, which makes for a later night Friday night because they sleep in Saturday. But we all know that's controlled by TV, and we accept that.
I know yesterday that you were asked about the Vandy game in 2016, and I might be buying into this a little bit too much, but do you feel like that game and how that game unfolded, do you think that kind of was a step in changing the culture of this program?
You know, I don't know. I think there's been a lot of steps in doing that process, and that was a tough year. I mean, there was a lot of things that happened that year. I thought when we started to really get it going the right way was when those kids decided to come back for their senior year, and we had good bowl practices and spirits were good for the bowl. Then to win the bowl game, that was probably a bigger turning point. I mean, the loss to Vandy would probably be one of the lower points as far as being the guys were tired, the guys were physically beat up. It was after the South Carolina Sunday game, which a lot of our guys didn't get the recovery. We tried to go out and practice Monday, which was probably an error on my part. But I mean, we don't look backwards right now. We look forwards, and that's really the focus of it.
Coach, there was there's a baseball player that stands accused of using some racial slurs directed at one of your football players in the game this past week. Is this something? What's your reaction to this? And is this something you've addressed with your players and your team in any way?
No, I really haven't. You know, if what I read and heard is true, it's really unacceptable behavior that's not who we are at Georgia, and trying to build a program on tolerance and mutual respect. And you can't control what other people say, but you know, the expectation is that people are part of our program and attending our games share the same beliefs that we do. And it's sad that something like this would happen. I'm disappointed, but it doesn't affect our family here, our unit here, and our kids have been great. And it's not something I've had to address with them. I've addressed it with Justin, and that's the most important thing.
Justin, okay? I mean, is he?
Oh, Justin's great.
Yeah.
Justin's great. Justin's worried about Vanderbilt.
What goes into a faster start? Players are talking about mantras. We get off to a faster start. Offensive guys, and in your mind, what feeds into that, or what goes into that?
I think executing. I mean, you think about it. I really think that several games we've started well. Some games we haven't, but like I told you, the hardest time to run the ball and move the ball is the early in the game because the defense is usually ahead of the offense a little bit from the speed of the game. But go back and look last week, we ran the ball really well early. The first 2-3 runs were 8-9 yards, and we were able to move it. But I think you don't feel good until you get points on those opening drives. And I think that's what you call starting fast. Crazy enough, we've had 2 touchdowns on defense before offense, but I guess both games I don't know if we started on defense in both those. I don't know if they had a chance, but I know that our offensive players are really honed in on getting an opportunity to get some rhythm going and make some plays because we have the capability of being explosive, but it usually comes when we have less mental errors. So it's not about what the other team does, it's what we do.
Kirby, Richard's had some plays this year where Richard the Count has had some plays where he looks like he just comes up looking for a big knockout hit. Is that something maybe you address with him, maybe playing more under control and not necessarily going for the big hit all the time?
No, I haven't really addressed that, Richard. I mean, we talk about targeting, and we talk about being under control and striking and hitting the right way and keeping your head up and protecting yourself. But, I mean, Richard's an exciting player to watch. He enjoys football. He's a fun-loving kid, man. He loves football. He's always got a smile on his face. I'm proud of the growing up he's doing. But the biggest thing with him is not leading with his head because he doesn't have a tendency to do it, but he has some times that have been close. And it concerns you for his safety and for the sake of penalties.
Coach, I asked you about your secondary on Saturday, and as you told me, you said like they got tested very much against Tennessee, and I suppose from our perspective, like we only look at the stats and the results in terms of that. But as you look at the progression of that unit, that is a challenge you're posing to that secondary right now in order Who?
You're talking about what are the challenges they still face, or were you asking?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just asking, like, what's one thing you're, like, honing in on that
Yeah, honing in on for secondary is preventing big plays, number one. We do not want to give up big plays, so that's a big thing. We think we've been really good at not giving up what we call explosive runs. Well, if you don't give up explosive runs, that means you're leveraging the ball properly, meaning that we don't have a lot of 16, 17-yard runs. So if we leverage the ball right, we're not going to give up big plays in the run game. And then obviously big plays in the pass game, you never want to give up. But when you pressure and you take chances, sometimes that's going to happen. But most of ours have not happened because we pressured. They happened because of either a busted assignment or a guy just got beat. And it wasn't necessarily on the pressure. But I do think our secondary is getting better. And I do think that our secondary is maybe faster than last year. Because we got a lot of speed back there. We don't have a lot of size, but we got a lot of speed.
Kirby, through 5 starts, what sort of development have you seen from Tyson Campbell, and what would you like to see more of?
I think he's progressing well. I've seen him go from a kid that didn't know what the call was or what the signal was. People got to tell him what to do till he gets the signal. He processes the information, and when somebody moves and it changes, he knows what to go to. The biggest improvement he's made is in tackling. He's tackled really well this week. He tackled really well against Missouri before his injury, and he's growing as a player. What can he still work on? Probably confidence and trusting that he's a good player and that he's going to be able to play with the guys in this conference and league, because he's certainly going to get targeted a lot.
Kirby,
yesterday about DeAndre Baker and his ability of, experienced player. What kind of things do you want him to show the younger players? Like, what kind of more of a positive? You mentioned positive influence, but what do you mean by that for the younger players?
I think confidence in talking to him. I think so many players in the secondary look up to D-Bake because he's such a talent, that he can affect those guys the right way. Maybe the way he prepares for the game, the way he goes about the game. D-Bake just keeps to himself. He's a quiet guy. He doesn't really want to share much information. He just wants to go play, and he enjoys playing the game. And I think he can enlighten the other players by giving them some of his knowledge and experience.
2 more questions?
Kirby, Terry Godwin had a lot of momentum coming out of last season. Kind of where is he now? With, dealing through the injuries and have what's his frame of mind to get back to where you guys hope he can be?
Yeah, I think Terry's slowly but surely gotten healthier all year. I mean, I still don't know that Terry's at 100%. His GPS numbers say he's getting closer, but here's a guy that didn't get to work out. I mean, the momentum you spoke of, there really wasn't that momentum there because all summer he couldn't run and work out because he had pain and injury, and he's worked really hard to get back to where he is now. And I think he's getting closer. It's really hard in the season to get your legs back under you because you're constantly running. You have to practice to get better, and he recognizes that, and he's practicing hard. And I think as he gets more conditioned and more in shape, he's going to help us. He had a huge block on one of Justin's touchdown runs. He just completely removed the corner out of the picture and blocked really well. So I've been very pleased with his nice growth, just getting back to normal.
Going back to Richard for a second, how long does it take to remove a tendency like that to lead with his head? Is that something you've noticed?
Well, I don't say that he has a tendency to do that. He has done it. He doesn't do it repeatedly. Richard is a really aggressive tackler. You have to be careful about taking that away from somebody because that's what makes him good. He's able to break on the ball really quick, close, strike. You just want to do it the right way. And I think over time you do that. You show good, you show bad. And if you learn good and bad, then you try to accentuate the positive, and he uses that to carry over in his future and his career. I mean, he knows how to protect himself, and he knows the rules. He's just got to be disciplined enough to actually do it. Thanks.